Hi, and welcome to 5.1, Day 2, Lesson 2. This is automobile ownership, classified ads. We got a little warm-up today. We can go through this together. It says the Bayside Bugle charges by the word to run classified ads. The newspaper charges $18 for the first 20 words and then 35 cents for each additional word. How much would a 32-word ad cost? So, to determine this, we have to take the total and subtract the first 20 words from it to find out how many words we're getting charged for. And when you do that, you get 12. We know that 12 of those words are going to be charged at 35 cents. And if you punch in 12 times 35 into your calculator, you're going to get $4.20. And we take that, $4.20, plus the original 18, and we come up with the total charges, $22.20. Let's take a look at our last class's notes page. That would be day 1 of January 5th and 6th. And write a question in our left-hand column. One question would be, what's domain? And domain are the values that can be put into a function. So values you input to a function. Get that down on your notes. When you get done, circle your 24. Hopefully your 10 is already circled. When you get done, please press play to proceed to the next slide. Let's title today's page 5.1 Auto Ownership Day 2. Should be the January 7th or 8th. Our learning target is the same as it was earlier this week. We'll be able to compute the cost of classified ads and sales tax for cars. You can stop this video at any time, get your journal up to date, and then press play again to go and advance to the next slide. Here's our first example. This is example 3, which is on page 220. And it's about piecewise functions that are split functions. Basically, they're functions that you could have two either-or cases. Here's our example. Jason works for the Glen Oaks News and is writing a program to compute ad costs. He needs to enter an algebraic representation of the costs to an ad. His company charges $42.50 for up to 5 lines for a classified ad, and each additional line costs $7. Express the cost of an ad with the lines x as a function of x algebraic. That's a lot of fancy words. What they want us to do is to determine how to write a equation that would represent these situations. We got one situation when your lines are less than 5 and one when they're greater of 5. We're going to let this number, or actually letter, represent the cost of a classified ad. And what we know is that there's 2 instances where that's equal to it. One is it costs you $42.50 when you have 5 lines. So we'd write something like 42.50 when x, that's the number, is less than or equal to 5 lines. But there is another case. What happens when you have more than 5 lines? And so that would be $42.50 plus 7 times whatever x is, but you have to subtract the first 5 lines. So 7 times x minus 5. When x is greater than 5. All right. Write that down. That is our split function. X represents the number, and C of x represents the cost of the ad. When you get that down, press play to advance to the next slide. Here's example 4. It says, Roxanne set up the following piecewise function, which represents the cost of an auto classified from her hometown newspaper. It says C of x equals 41.50 when x is less than or equal to 6, and it equals 41.55 plus 550 times x minus 6 when x is greater than 6. If x is the number of lines in the ad, use words to express the price of a classified ad from this newspaper. So we could write something like, it costs 4150. Making all kinds of mistakes. 4150 for 6 words or less. And it is $5.50 more for every extra line over 6. Get that down in your journal, and we'll move on to the next slide. Here's example 5, which is important to us just for visual reasons. It says graph the piecewise function in Roxanne, creating an example 4. It's not necessary. Not all of us have a graphing calculator. But if we did graph it, this is what it would look like. And why it's important to us is that the cusp of the graph is right here. It's the point where the 2 lines meet. And they call it that because I guess it resembles the cusp of a tooth. But it's where the line basically changes direction. It's an example of how, as you add lines, your costs go up. Get that down, and we will go to the next slide. Go over your notes, underline what's important, and circle the 10. I have the 24 circled here for some reason. Don't ask me why. On your journal, here is our assignment. It is application problems 10 through 14. On 14, it's just A and B only. That is number 25 on our assignment list modules. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Adios.